Well, hello. The kids are officially back. All states are in, every country, every continent, and we are excited to see them in the classroom and especially us tutors. So now you get to a point, you know that your child needs a little assistance, needs a little help, but we still struggle with the fact that you know your child struggles, let's say, for instance, math. And you know that they're going into either one of those transitional schools, like they're moving from 7th grade to 8th grade, they're moving from 8th grade to 9th grade, even if they're moving from 2nd to 3rd grade, you know that a lot of their skill set is going to be missing. Maybe not to how the level is, but you know that there is something off, there's something missing. So then all of a sudden you get a tutor. And I know I hear this so often in my thing. Wow, you're expensive. Or why does it cost so much? You know what? I know I can definitely get it cheaper somewhere else. And you know what I usually say? You're right. But I know deep down, I know my value. And for today, I want to talk about pricing. I was in a summit this weekend. It's called the Impact 4. It was awesome. Seeing a lot of tutors I haven't talked to in a while, and also meeting a lot of different other tutors from around the world. And everybody was basically talking about two main things. One, how to get clients. And of course, I talked about that last week. So when I was doing my lead generation and challenge, and that went pretty well. So a lot of people got a little information with that. But the other one was pricing. Like, what should I price? And it kills me when I go to so many different, like, say, Facebook groups and hearing people discuss, and they're all saying the same thing like, okay, well, I want to charge $20 an hour. And then you will hear the backlash and the craziness from other tutors lynching, basically, saying, how can you charge that low? That's too low. But then no one really actually took a moment to stop and say, "Hey, I'm in a different country. I'm not from the United States. I'm actually, from Cambodia, or I'm out in the Philippines, or I'm out in a very rural area in a small town in the middle of somewhere where you don't even know how to pronounce." So sometimes, like, we really need to, like, take a moment and just really understand that, you know what? Everybody is not gonna be able to afford $100 an hour for tutoring. They have other things that they wanna abide by. They want to be able to pay for whatever they need to pay for in order to get their basic needs met. Well, for those that can, some of them are like, "Well, am I really getting my true worth?" And everyone keeps talking about, "Well, how much do I wanna spend?" Or how much, "Am I gonna get this for an hour or a half an hour?" It's always about the time. But the one thing that a lot of people kind of forget when it comes to pricing is the value. So, if you're here, I see a couple people popping in. Hey, guys. So if you're here, go ahead, hit hashtag live. If you're watching the replay, hit hashtag replay because it helps with the algorithm. So we're going to really dive into. So, like, when you think about pricing, how to set your price and how to feel confident in setting your price. This can go for tutoring. It can go for if you want to start a goat farm. It doesn't matter what kind of business you're in. Everyone always thinks there is a competition. So I should be looking at my competition to see how much they're charging and to see how they're promoting themselves and try to kind of, borrow. Most teachers, we know about that borrowing thing. Let me borrow their stuff and then let me see if I could repeat it. No, you have to figure out how you want to run your business. So that comes into how you want to, I don't know, sit back and design and plan to figure out what exactly you are offering. What is your value? And then all of a sudden, you need to understand, like, hey, not only what's your value, like who is the people that you really want to bring into your business and have that business flourish. And for you to basically show the world who you are based on your skill set. So those are the things I always feel like the pricing part is hard. Because as a former teacher, the very first thing that a lot of people want to say is, I can do, like for me, I can do the math. I can down concepts that kids can understand. I can do that part. It's just the business part that makes me crazy. Like, I have to organize my calendar. Okay, that's not a problem. As a classroom teacher, that's what we do. We organize 60 million two things at one time. We make it look easy. Everybody else is like, what are you doing? But when it comes down to how to put it in a sense for it's you, that's where a lot of people kind of get lost. So I really want to kind of reach in and just talk a little bit of like what to consider when putting your pricing. And I know there's going to be a couple parents that's going to pop in and right away they're going to say, "Hey, Audrey, tell them to keep it low." And I'm going to say to you, "Hey, parent, it's about the value." Because nowadays everyone is so caught with getting a job, doing a job, what they're being told to do, and then they get lost in the sauce. So when you break from that norm, now everybody's like, how should I price this? And the very first thing that a lot of people do, everybody does it. I did it. I think about the person that struggles to put two pennies together. And these are the kids that I want to help. But then all of a sudden, you got to understand a lot of people will think about this. Um, you ever think about the thing like, oh, when your overflows, it's almost like that's when you should be giving back when your cup overflows. A lot of people kind of misconstrue that. It's not so much, a lot of people think that when my cup overflows, that's when I can help people out. That's what it should be. But a lot of people think that, oh, I got something in the cup and I should be giving it to everyone until it's bone dry. And then when it's bone dry, what do you have for yourself? Because I know I have to keep the lights on. I have to keep the internet on. I have to pay for my phone. I have to pay for almost everything, food, hair care products, good gracious, uh, and all these other things. I have to do all these things. So all those things need to be taken into consideration. So one of the major thing is it's your time. Because I know I set aside time that I wanna have a schedule. And there are gonna be times, especially when I have, like, student athletes that are really involved in their sports, and a lot of them just they can't stay after school for, the tutoring that a lot of schools already decided to do, and they're just using other students to tutor other students so they can say, "Yeah, we have a tutoring program," which is great for after school. That's wonderful. But what about those athletes that have to go to practice right after school or a game, especially the away games? There are some times that they have to leave school early in order to get to the away games. What about those kids that have to work right after school because they are the provider of their household? I had quite a few students that they were working construction, just left their construction job, like those midnight jobs that you see people doing the roads at night. Yeah, I had a couple students that was doing that, and they leave there to come straight to school, exhausted. So there's a lot of consideration. A lot of people don't think that a lot of these kids, they have to work. It's not because, oh, all right, I'm getting older. I just want to pay my phone. They need to work. But when it comes to us with our pricing, we got to think about our time. We have to organize all this. Some people are actually still doing lesson plans. Me personally, why are you doing that? You're a tutor, not a teacher, but you'll figure that out. But I understand in Europe, they have tuition. And when they do tuitions, it is like you are basically a secondary teacher. Some people have to get certified. Some people are using their certification to get employment. and try to tell other people that, yes, I can do this work because I have the certification. But here in the States, anybody can tutor. But it's always great to get a tutor that was also a former teacher because a lot of them, they know the tricks and the bits. They know that, hey, you're learning this now, but next week you're going to be learning this, or you're going to be learning a combination of this and this. So, these are some of the things to kind of get in your mind a little bit. So, let me go to of my I know I got all these people popping in with stuff. So we definitely have one of the Facebook user that says we need to be okay with charging our worth. Yes. We need to realize that we have the expertise that parents are seeking. Exactly right. I wish I knew who this was. And then we have another that says, I do a lesson plan because my children needs to build on skills. True. I have a feeling it's going to be like elementary. Even with me with secondary, I basically filter some of that skill work in. So the organization, yes. Gracious, yes. Because when you look at kids, they don't teach how to take notes anymore. I remember that at 1 year, we had to teach Cornell notes to all our students. Cornell notes in math, fun, fun, but we had to teach it. Now, I don't see that in any curriculum. They're either just printing out copies of the PowerPoint presentation and they're just giving it out, and that's their notes. Because kids don't know how to say, all right, that's important. Let me write that down. Or, okay, I understand this. Let me just write a little note, but then let me write the notes of this down. A lot of people don't know and understand how to do that. So yes, this keeps me organized so I'll cover specific topics. Exactly. Because sometimes, Cheryl. Okay. I was like, I wish I knew who it was. It's Cheryl. All right. But really have to think about this. When you do all this processing, you got to think about your time. You got to think about your structure. Each child is different. I have a set of sisters. Yeah, they're taking the same class. They're basically in the same class, but at the same time, they don't have the same abilities or the same disabilities. So I have to figure out, okay, well, this one needs more work with fractions. This one needs more work with integers. And I'm always mirroring in what they're currently working on and filtering all those skills that they are lacking so it can build them up, build their confidence. And this is all the stuff you think that just magically happens with pixie dust. No, it's a lot of planning on our sense. Okay. So, next part, if I can switch over, is hey, what you're doing is a gift. I'm not sure how many people are into God. I don't want to force it on anyone. If you're thinking of a higher power, whatever you want to call him or her or it, the universe, all that stuff, no matter what, you have the gift to break these concepts down. Because here's my thing there are a lot of people out there that know definitely way smarter than I am. Oh, smarter than I am, right? But here's the thing they don't know how to break concepts down to the kids. They can score extremely high on their praxis tests. And you're like, man, but if you put them in front of a classroom, they don't know how to interact with the kids. They don't know how to break stuff down. They don't know how to take a child's interest and put it into something so productive that they're like, that makes sense. Why did my teacher do that? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm not in there. But I can tell you that you should think this way because this is how you think. And the more and more that I stay and spend time with my students, the more I start to get to know them. And now I can actually just off the dome sometimes, but like, okay, I know you're struggling with the negatives. So let's think of it this way. Let's think money. You owe me $5. For some sick and twisted reason, I loaned you three more dollars. How much do you owe me? They're like $8. So owing me, is that a positive or a negative? They'll say, oh, a negative. So -5 minus 3, it's the same as saying -5 plus -3. Both have the same sign, so you're adding together. You're making that debt bigger. Oh, I love that part. They're just like, because it takes those things to kind of really build that up. That's a skill. That's a gift. The main fact that you left the classroom to do your own tutoring business is huge. Almost every day I'm getting an email, once in a while, a phone call from someone from some school saying, Audrey, I want you to work here. And I just keep telling them, you can't afford me. And I'm not talking about just financially, like drop the mic, you can't afford me, boom. It's more like you can't afford me because now I know my value. And that's the third one. Know your value. Stop working at places that you're getting paid $10. Seriously? This is 2023. Come on, people. $10 is great if you already established yourself and you're ready to go back to your community and to build people up. That's different. That's completely different. But if you're just starting out and everybody is already looking for a handout and everybody's already looking for a discount, you haven't even established yourself yet. Wait till you get yourself established. Wait till you get yourself to a profit. Wait till you really get yourself advanced. Then go to your community. How can I help you? Now you can charge whatever that rate that you feel comfortable with how many students you want to work with. Now you have a voice. So you don't have to go to a lot of the schools and they're just sitting there and all the principals will sit there and tell you like, "Oh, okay, we're going to pay you $30 an hour." And you're saying to yourself, "Dude, right now I'm charging 90." Or there's another person charging 65 and there's another charging 52. I know people that are charging 125, 130 for tutoring. And you're going to give me $30 and I say, "Oh, per kid?" No. And then all of a sudden they jam in 30 kids. And what happens? It's no longer a tutoring session. Now it's a babysitting service. So you're getting paid like the adventures of babysitting back in the 1980s. It's insane. People don't see the value of tutoring. I have had clients that the one parent says, "Oh, yes, this is definitely it. I'm going to talk to my significant other. We're going to set everything up." And the significant other says, "That's too much." I'm like, "Okay." But see, the only person is that other person didn't see my value. So because they couldn't see my value, they don't want to add in. But guess what? There's how many billions of people on this planet? So, like I always say to so many of you guys, like I've been having all kinds of meetings all week. I got a couple of them I have to set up. And I keep saying the same thing. There's two things that I always stick to. One is don't chase, attract. And two is to build relationships. So when it comes time, I can feel confident in me. When I'm confident in me, that means I'm confident in my skill set. That means I'm confident in my business. That means I'm going to be confident in my pricing. I'm going to take the advantage of this is what I am valued. And it might be the value for this year. Maybe next year it might go up. But if you are struggling to put things together, I'm going to take a little page out of Eric Thomas's book the whole slogan. Everybody knows it. I can, I will, I must. I can be an online tutor. I will be an online tutor, and I must be an online tutor. In order for me to make this work and be able to keep the lights on and keep a roof over my head and have the sanity that I wanted and do the teaching that I know I can do and entrust myself to give the best of me to my clients, that's what I'm going to do. And my price is going to show it. And this is what each and every one of you have to practice. You say your price and then you zip it. That's it. Because we're the ones each and every time that will step in and just be like, Okay, I charge this much. But you know what? I know you can't afford that. How do you know? Are you in their pockets? Hmm? How do you know? How do you know what they can afford, what they can't afford? How do you know they didn't put this in their mind? Hello, Peter. How did you know? You don't know. You make all these assumptions. You put in your head like, "Oh, I'm a bad person because I'm asking for money for a skill." No, you're sharing your gift. Just stop. You're sharing your gift. So by your sharing your gift, which your gift is you're creating a space and you're providing a service. So with all that said and done, you have to practice saying your price and then zip it. Make the parent make the decision if they want to work with you. Give them reason to do that. And the only way to do that is for them to see who you are. So that goes into another topic later on. But my thing is, you have to be seen, you have to be confident, and you have to do what you need to do. So, again, if you're watching this live, hit hashtag live. Go ahead, hit a comment, put something in there. I'll talk to you. I know there's a couple people on here. Um, but for the most part, I know I'm putting it out there. I'm very transparent when it comes to my tutoring business. My first year wasn't that good. So I'm talk to that in a second. But go ahead, hit a comment. Keep it clean. So hashtag live, or if you're watching the replay, hashtag replay, put it in the comments, and let's provide the algorithm. Hello. All right, so we have quite a few that are popping in. Yes, thank you so much, guys, for hitting the lives. And I know it's not always easy to do lives. I'm very proud of my friend Aurelia who did a live today. Very proud of her because I'm telling you, if you are English as a second language and you really want to learn, go to her. She's a gift. I mean, if I may say a gift straight from God, she is a gift straight from God because she is helping so many people transform themselves. And that's one thing a lot of people don't understand what teachers do. Like teachers, tutors, we're transforming kids' lives. The things that we do in the classroom, it will show up. I love when someone says, "Oh, hey, Angel, how are you?" So I think this is Cheryl again, I'm not sure. Yes, you have to be present and provide information to families. Yes, you have to be transparent. Now, for me personally, I don't want to lead with my money. That's where a lot of us go wrong. I'm going to be truthful. This is exactly where a lot of us go wrong. We lead everything with the money. This is how much I cost. This is how much. Okay, you want to know my value? This is how much I value. I charge you $65 an hour. But here's the thing. Do you know that person? Do they have they ever had a conversation with you? I mean, you don't have to be best of friends, but have you ever had a conversation with that person? Do you want to build relationships with people or do you just want to make money? Now, I'm going to be bold. If you're just here just to make money through tutoring, just get off the live. Real facts. You're going to make money, but that's not the reason why you're doing this. I really love to associate myself with people that wants to change other people's lives. That's why I developed a Facebook group and I'm very, very particular of how many people go into that Facebook group. And right now I have 120 people in there. And I'm proud of myself. I started it like 4 months ago. But there's 120 people that believes in what I'm saying. So I know the money's going to come because I'm proof of it. This is year 4 of me tutoring. This is year 4. And it's like, but the thing that makes me different, and I always ask this question on my 2 tutors talking live, is what makes you different? What makes you genuine? I lead with my integrity. And it's probably the worst thing I could possibly do as a business owner, but I lead with my integrity. I lead with my heart. So I love when people leave. because they're like, no, I'm trying to make money. All right, go ahead. Because this is not the life. This is not it. I want to create a space that I can provide a service for the next generation to do better than me. And I know a lot of people say, Audrey, you don't mean that. I'm like, yes, I do. I want people to have a better life than me. I had a pretty decent life compared to most. I had an opportunity to play professional basketball overseas for a couple of years. Loved it. I had an opportunity to actually teach. I had opportunities to talk in front of groups. I have an opportunity that people actually, especially tonight, where there's people in here that's listening to me and they don't have to. But I think about all these things. So before I go with pricing, I like to build relationships, get to know people, put something out there, put content out there. I'm a type of person, if you ask me for any question, I'm going to give you the kit and caboodle. I'm giving you everything. And majority of the time, sometimes it's free. And people are like, Audrey, when are you going to start charging me? I'm like, I don't know. When are you going to start making a lot of money? Okay, awesome. Beautiful. But how many lives did you change today? That's where I think I need to start with people's conversation from now on. How many lives do you think you changed today? Today, I had 4 clients. Awesome day. It feels great for school coming back. A lot of people love the weekends and the holidays. For a tutor, that stinks because we don't work, right? But I think I've changed 4 people's lives today. Or I just reminded them how awesome they are. Sometimes I try to do that when I'm in the classroom, but it's tough when you got 40. The most I had in the class was 42 kids. Yeah, that's my AHS days. I had 42 kids for SAT prep, and I always welcomed more in. Every time someone's schedule changed, Miss Audrey, can't just bring them in. I'll teach them. And I handled my classroom. It was never crazy or insane. When I needed them to be serious, they were serious. So here's one person. 42 is crazy. Yes, it is. But I've definitely made it happen and I made it work. I didn't go crying or whining or anything like that. I just did it. So we have one person, like just one. I'm hanging out with my granddaughter, but yes, we're directly impact. I think that's impact these kids. Exactly. We're definitely gotta be it's like, "That's good." Here's another one. "That's good, I believe you can handle anything." Sometimes, not so much. But for the most part, that's what I tried to do. When you put your mindset and it keeps coming back to that. Once you get to that mindset that, like, "This is what I need to do," because there's days that you just don't feel like getting out of bed. And I always have to think, "Well, I gotta pay for mortgage. I got bills to pay." I got people to inspire. So get your butt up. And my only thing is my hopes, my desire, my drive has to match with that pricing. It has to, guys. So if you think that you're not worth $42, let's do some reevaluating. If you need some help with reevaluating, trust me, I'm pretty good at listening and analyzing and breaking things down. So But if anything, let's get away from this. Let's get away from this self-sabotage. I don't want to hear, even in low end countries, economic background is low. No one should be charging. No one should be getting paid just $10 or $15 an hour because I know for sure a lot of parents are not just paying 10 or $15. They're paying out like a good 25, 30, if anything. And some of you guys are not even getting half. But you're giving a huge amount of value, like just oozing it out. I know that was gross, but just putting it all out there. Why not get why not reap the benefits of that? I mean, I'm not saying that, hey, if you want to make 6 million, if you want to make $1 million a year, hey, you're going to have to work for it. If you know that your situation, your current situation is not where it should be, guess what? Change it. Maybe it might be you need to raise your prices. Oh, well, I'm going to lose all my students. But the students that you have, are they helping you? Are when you have your services or where you have your sessions, are they doing everything that you asked them to do? I bet you cold hard cash, the answer is no. Well, I got this one student. I'm like, all right, so how many students are you working with? 8. So 1 out of 8. You're filling up your schedule with people that don't value you. You're like the McDonald's toy. When you first get it, you're like, yes, I love it. And then all of a sudden you're like, all right, let me put it on the shelf. And you're just there. Days turn into weeks, weeks turn into months, months turn into years, decades, just collecting dust because no one values you. The society can easily make you feel less of anything. So you have to make things yourself. Like this one person here, boom, work for yourself, charge your worth. Yeah, that's the easiest way. I should have just came on here. I'm like, all right, guys, work for yourself, charge your worth. Bye. That would be like the shortest live known to man. Was there a lot? Oh. So, but it's true. As at rightful age of 50, soon to be 51, I'm telling you, don't wait until you get into your 40s and 50s to start thinking about your life. Start thinking about your work. I know you're 20, you're running around, you're just acting all kinds of crazy. That's you. All right. But then the 30s are going to come. You're going to engulf yourself in a job. And then all of a sudden, here you go in your 40s. I think I might want to be serious. Then in your late 40s, now in your 50s, and then you want to start making changes in your 50s and 60s. Oh, because now I'm older. Come on. Come on, guys. Let's make it happen. So don't wait. Every time I see a young person, I'm like, what do you want to do? I want to go to college. For what? I don't know. That's what people tell me I have to do. Well, figure out what you want. What is your passion? What is your desire? And go for that. Same thing goes with your pricing tutors. Know your worth. Know it. Sample it. Show people what you do. Give them examples. Put in content. Come on. I'm seeing some of you guys out there, but don't just do all these whole stock photos and just, I want to see videos. I want to hear your voice. I want to hear your diction. I want to hear your accents. Put it out there. Oh, well, they're going to make fun of me. Who cares? That's a small percent. There's tons of other people that needs your gift. Stop being selfish. Stop thinking about the woulda, coulda, shouldas because that's in your way. Get out of your own way. Say your price, then zip it. Okay? We got it? Great. Are you done with the banter, Audrey? I could be a little more aggressive, but I choose not to. All right? So these are all just straight facts. All right? I'm not going to sugarcoat it with you. You need to know what your worth is. And if you're not sure what it is, you need to sit down with yourself, somewhere comfortable, somewhere quiet, and literally say, who am I? What am I? And how can I better serve my man, my common man? Okay. Man meaning man and woman. Okay. So no more chasing. Let's start attracting. Put yourself out there. I don't like to be on social media. So what are you doing on this live? You're on the live. So obviously you're into some kind of social media. You're watching the replay. You on some kind of social media. Stop playing the front. All right? Let's get it done. So, in conclusion, say your price, zip it. Know your worth and apply it. All right. So if you like this, and you enjoyed the live, you enjoyed the replay, and you are, say, a math teacher, math tutor that would love to have a safe space to be able to nerd it out in math, get some ideas, have some collaboration for tutoring, come join my Facebook group, From the Classroom to Online Tutoring. It's a virtual community. I am trying to bring as lot of people as I can in there. I'm going to start going with a few Q&A sessions. So for people that are in that group, watch out. It's coming soon. Also, I'm going to bring back my Ask Audrey segments. So with Ask Audrey, you can bring me bits and pieces of your tutoring business. We will sit down on a call for like an hour and 15 minutes, and we'll just sit there and talk and figure out ideas how you can get your ideal clients, how you can improve your tutoring business so you can start getting fully booked like me. For heaven's sakes, I have 4 clients because I merged a couple people. So I got some pairs now. So if you're interested in that, come into the group so you can get those announcements of when I'm doing all that. And then was supposed to start with the mastermind this week. Hey, not too many people were ready for it because school started and they're just like, not this time. All right, so I'm going to introduce it again in the winter. So I'm looking at end of January, beginning of February, so I can get you guys ready for the next coming wave, which is usually around March, because that's when all those assessments and ACTs and SATs are going to come around. So I'm trying to get you guys prepared so you can get the clients that you need and start building yourself up. So that is it for me for tonight. So tomorrow, let me check my calendar real quick. So tomorrow I will be on Two Tutors Talking. It will be just me. And then on Thursday, I have a special edition of Two Tutors Talking with my girl Latrice. So if anything, just hop on in. That's going to be Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and also Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for Two Tutors Talking. I can't wait to get a theme song. That'd be so cool. If anyone knows that they want to do that, come in. Just say, hey, Audrey, let me do a theme song for you. All right. So have a great night, guys, and I will see you around. See ya.